a problem for everyone to deal with today.
It hasn't been a problem. I mean, the set history is a bit of a problem if you are BalloonBoy. Out of the 10 times he has faced Sandstorm in bracket, he has only won 2 of those sets against the GOAT. So we're going to see how he deals with this Priya. BalloonBoy, of course, one of the very vocal players about having a very rough time against this weapon. And we're going to see how he does here in game number 1 in Demon Island.
Oh, but man, this side light is giving him so many opportunities to rack up damage, combining it with the side air follow-up over and over again. Sandstorm trying to find a way in. BalloonBoy in hot pursuit with these blasters, so the side sig's going to find and connect. He's been so good all day with his accuracy on that move, just able to just line it up and secure stocks with it. And Sandstorm already trailing behind. BalloonBoys are really healthy.
Yeah, very good first stock from BalloonBoy. He has been an absolute surgeon on these blasters today, and we're seeing it continue here on Demon Island. He's literally just juggling, playing with his food here, looking to switch over to the boots. See Sandstorm get over on that weapon, Chakram in hand. We're going to go ahead and split it with the D-Light. But BalloonBoy right underneath him with the unarmed recovery, weapon in hand, and back on the blasters. What hit?
Oh, almost a stock there. Both of them are going to make it back to the stage. BalloonBoy trying to get an even larger lead here. Tries to do the anti-air with the flame sword. It's not going to connect. But boy, is BalloonBoy looking good right now. I mean, Sandstorm seemingly struggling to get these hits. I mean, normally we've watched these players, specifically Sandstorm, fish for these recoveries all day. But BalloonBoy is making it look like light work as he combines weapon throw with another weapon throw to go ahead and secure that next stock. And he's still like in the mid-orange, right? Hasn't hit the red quite yet. Sandstorm seemingly no answers. Everything BalloonBoy is doing is him. He just looks like the better player.
Like, I'm kind of at a loss for words. I feel like we've been here a few times this week in certain sets, and I just cannot understand what is taking place in front of me. This is a Sandstorm on the unbeatable Chakrams right now, and we're seeing BalloonBoy make quick work on the first game. Sandstorm finally able to confirm that first stock, but he is in orange, almost in knockout range. He's got a lot to figure out in game number 1.
Yeah, no, this one's looking a little scary, right? I mean, Sandstorm trying to answer back, and that's a good start. You know, gets maybe like 6 hits there with the Chakrams to go ahead and rack up some damage, but still has this stock and another stock to burn through. So you can see BalloonBoy going to start throwing out these down 6 pretty willy-nilly probably, just because there isn't much of a risk. Goes for the D-Light into the recovery, true conversion. Needs one more D-Light here, goes for the side sig. That's not going to connect. A side air in the corner will be enough. Throws the weapon, but it's not enough to threaten. But BalloonBoy, like, it's really hard to throw from here, I think, because even he's approaching N-Light territory.
I don't know if you saw the Marky Moo game or not.
But Marky Moo literally just like didn't have a move on either of the legends he picked that KO'd like that. Like, he could literally do N-Light now with the boots, and that'll be game.
Yeah, very fair.
Ooh, tries to go for a recovery, try to mix him up. Ooh. Snuck in a D-Light there as well. Even if BalloonBoy loses this stock, I'm confident he has his game. Do not let me be wrong here. Thank you, GG.
There it is. Game number 1 going to the triple B right there on the Mega Man. And Sandstorm starting out behind, but you know, we talked about it a little bit earlier. This is just how Sandstorm almost starts every single set, it seems. Stream sets anyway. We'll see if he's able to figure it out here, but BalloonBoy seems to have all of the answers for these Chakrams, but he's gonna take us to Miami Dome.
Okay, well, I mean, no surprise here. We've seen a lot of Sandstorm on Miami Dome with these Chakrams, these platforms seemingly being extremely useful to resetting your jumps and kind of setting up some of those earlier KO opportunities off the top. But BalloonBoy, I don't really think it matters, man. With the way that he was playing, he just looks so good, so clean. And even there, he's doing gravity cancels, and he only got hit 1 time for it. You know, he had no dodge, but there wasn't really much Sandstorm could figure out to do there without a weapon. And, I mean, look at BalloonBoy's movement as well, right? Like, Sandstorm's having a tough time getting in. There we go, finds a falling side air, but look at the way that BalloonBoy's able to keep him out and read his movement, right? Jumps up with that down air, says, bro, I know you're going to be right here. Empties the clip a little bit. Sandstorm needs to figure out what's going on.
That is actually a really good point you're making, because we've used to seeing Sandstorm. I mean, he plays so aggressively on these Chakrams. He doesn't camp them out like we've seen the other players do it. And he's having to slow down. He doesn't know how to approach BalloonBoy. And for a weapon that you can pretty much just approach at will with little to no risk, he's having a very hard time getting that figured out. BalloonBoy has put up this brick wall with these blasters, and Sandstorm is trying to knock it down. There is a breath of life from the Sandstorm here. Dare, he does not follow through with the Sair. No follow-up. Just going to go back and take his ground on the stage of Miami Dome.
There we go again, that side light into the D light to go ahead and fuse the chakram. But he does end up being disarmed. There's another spawn though. He can start fishing for recovery here, and that should be it for BalloonBoy stock. And that's exactly what we see. BalloonBoy kind of trailing behind. He actually hasn't touched Sandstorm in a while now. He hasn't been able to kind of find a hit to connect to rack up an extra bit of damage here. He's going to try to go for maybe a cheeky recovery toward the top. That would have led to the stock, so I understand why he went for it, but Sandstorm not falling for a bit of a cheesy option there.
BalloonBoy with the recovery follow-up. Sandstorm, though, putting more damage on him, extending this first stock. Sandstorm's so good about getting that download in game number 1, and we're seeing him put the knowledge to use here in game number 2 as BalloonBoy seems to be struggling at the verge here of going down 2 stocks to Sandstorm. BalloonBoy needs to get some offense in his direction, and he needs to do it now as Sandstorm puts some more on him. Gravity Cancel sidelight pulling him in for some more. BalloonBoy with the Sair and the weapon throw is going to finish off the stock, but he is so far in the knockout range on the second.
Yeah, I mean, BalloonBoy securing that first stock, saying go long, and Sandstorm caught it, but at what risk at this point? BalloonBoy really got to figure out how to bring himself back into this game. He has so much damage racked up here, can't afford another hit from these chakrams. Another recovery will knock out. He's getting these punishes, though. I mean, the damage has been racked up. He almost has Sandstorm in the orange. He's going to lose the stock here. Yeah, that's going to be just enough.
Yeah.
But all things considered, where BalloonBoy started in that last stock, he's done a lot to kind of mitigate some of the damage he had taken.
I absolutely agree. Sandstorm, though, getting a good 4 or 5 piece in there, taking BalloonBoy on top. But you see, you look at the health, not a whole lot of damage put out from that. BalloonBoy, catching him. Can he continue? Yes, another. Hit him again,
nice
and he
catch.
does. Bye-bye to the stock, and we're all tied up.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give it out to BalloonBoy there, right? I mean, Sandstorm's out there using that chakram dare to stall for time, hover a little bit closer toward the side, and BalloonBoy already scouting that out, saying, you know what, let me wait a little bit, go for a little stall, then I'll catch you on the way in with that gravity cancel down light into the side air, and now we got a 1-stock game. BalloonBoy needs to get some of these opening hits, though, to go ahead and bring the damage count a little bit back to even, and that's exactly what he does. 2 neutral lights, and suddenly we are back in business here. Sandstorm once again struggling to find a way in, using these platforms and just daring off of them, though, has been his, this might be it for BalloonBoy. Yep, GG got caught in.
Absolutely, that was a good finish from Sandstorm there at the end of game number 2. Tying this set up, but that's the one thing I would be a little nervous if I'm Sandstorm, because even though he had that really huge lead, it was almost to push it to 2 stocks.
Yeah.
BalloonBoy clawed his way back. The Mega Man was starting to produce. It was starting to get the offense out, and it came down to the very end there. Oh, that was such a good knockout.
So
came down to the very end right there. So Sandstorm may have got the dub, but he didn't have it on lock. And so we're going to have to see what that means for both these players as we head in for game number 3, once again to Demon Island.
All right, now, no platforms. We've seen what BalloonBoy does when there's no platforms. You add a platform, suddenly things look a little bit rougher. So if, game 1 is any indicator, this should be indicative of a BalloonBoy victory here, but you can't count out a player like Sandstorm just because platforms were removed. It's not like he's so one-dimensional in the way that he approaches the game. And also on a weapon like chakrams as well, BalloonBoy sometimes doing some calculus to try to figure out how to get some of these knockouts. He does it, though. The math is right, but he has to do calculus. But for Sandstorm, some of these, he gets a read on a dodge in. He's able to get you with a grab cancel, end light, nair, recovery, and suddenly you're just gone off the top, right? So a bit of the onus is on BalloonBoy here to play a little bit more perfect. But despite that, he's keeping up with, the GOAT.
He absolutely is. We are dead even coming into the end parts of stock number 1 as Sandstorm is getting those aerials in. Nice Sair from BalloonBoy, pushing that side stick again, but he got back in time to go ahead and pepper it up with the Sair. Sandstorm, no punish to be found. BalloonBoy still has those blasters. Gravity cancel D-light into Sair. Sandstorm being pushed all the way over the edge. Who is going to be the first to strike? Sandstorm with the weapon throw. Hits the neutral light. BalloonBoy has a way back up. Can he find it? He does, but he whiffs the Sair. Sandstorm does not. BalloonBoy still has the options, though. He's able to touch, reset his options, and we're right back to neutral with BalloonBoy letting the side sig fly, and he is the first strike.
Yeah, and that's going to be a rare punish that we have on chakrams there. Sandstorm tries to kind of jump scare BalloonBoy by picking up those chakrams and immediately going for a fuse sidelight, which has a decent chunk of force on it and kind of has a boomerang property on it. But BalloonBoy just did not fall for it, was able to respond with a side stick of his own. But it was not long before Sandstorm was able to say, you know what, let me just throw out that recovery again. Cool, now the stock count is back to even. This has been a really close game so far.
It is very close, and we, you know, this is for the momentum going into set number 4. These guys are all tied up here. Okay, he now has Sword Prime, though.
This is true.
But he has plenty of health left on stock number 2. He's going to go ahead and split the chakrams. BalloonBoy going to lay down that cover fire. Ooh, the movement. BalloonBoy's trying to get silly with it. Seeing him dance around. Oh, back-to-back recovery from Sandstorm. But the dare is going to go ahead and connect from BalloonBoy as he's trying to extend off of it. Not much to be found. Sayer from Sandstorm. Oh, he's going to guard the edge now. What can he find? BalloonBoy finds his way back up, lays down the neutral light, but Sandstorm slaps him in the face with a Sayer and a weapon throw.
Okay, but Sandstorm disarms himself and gives BalloonBoy an opportunity. There's the weapon spawn. He tries to catch him with that side zig. Doesn't get there in time and gets hit by the fused recovery, which has enough juice to go ahead and take BalloonBoy off the top. And now he's at a deficit. He's looking for a weapon. He's saying, this is the flat stage. I need the dub here. But seemingly unable to make it happen at this moment. Getting chopped up. Can't get back to the stage. Look at all this extra damage that Sandstorm is collecting here. Swing after swing after swing, slice after slice. Can BalloonBoy make this happen, man? So far, it's looking rough. He's approaching the orange.
Yeah, it's looking very rough for BalloonBoy. Sandstorm seems to be getting more and more confident as this game moves on, as we getting towards the halfway point here. Sandstorm swapping over to the fuse. Can he hit the dare? No, he swaps back to split. BalloonBoy, though, in orange. This is getting real bad in game number 3 here. Ooh, an arm side light is going to connect. Another one as well. Sandstorm looking for the weapon drop. He bluffs on it and gets some more damage, which is almost going to make that enough to be able to knock out, but it does not. BalloonBoy, though, going to find a way to get back up on stage and secure the stock. We're all tied up, but BalloonBoy is literally bleeding out.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, BalloonBoy is lucky to even have his stock. That was a guaranteed edge guard for Sandstorm. He just didn't line up the weapon throw properly, but BalloonBoy didn't have a dodge, so he should have been able to confirm the victory there. But this second chance may be the difference. Can BalloonBoy clutch from this position? He has to effectively not get touched a singular time. I think fused recovery, or rather split recovery, will probably be enough. Probably.
Another one of those weapon throws.
Oh, yeah, just barely. Yeah, who knows? Maybe that one weapon throw made the difference, dude. You know?
It might have been. Oh, okay.
Maybe. I don't think so, though, but tough for BalloonBoy.
This BalloonBoy, okay, we have been on the VV Mega Man all day long. As we take a look at these replays, we'll see how Sandstorm got it done. But we've been looking at the VV Mega Man all day long from BalloonBoy, and he has a deep roster. I mean, okay, I guess he's going to stick with it. I didn't know if we were going to maybe try a Diana, but we still are on winner side, so he still has a little room to work with. But, man, this is a bad spot for BalloonBoy because, like I said, as we went through, Sandstorm just seems to be getting more and more confident.
Yeah.
He's chipping away at the armor of Mega Man. He's chipping away at that damage, and he's getting in his head a little bit. And we're seeing Sandstorm, first one to get the weapon in his hand. See what kind of damage he's going to be able to rack up with it. BalloonBoy now with the boots, though, we are going to start off in just straight up neutral.
Yeah, this is, I mean, no matter what, it's going to be a little bit of a heartbreaker in terms of Royale qualification, because I think there's a lot of people who would love to see Marky Moo, Sandstorm, and BalloonBoy all qualified, but we can only take 2 based off the placing of this tournament, and so one of those 3 will have to be waiting on the sidelines. And right now, BalloonBoy's trying his best to secure that spot now if he can, but trailing behind in damage still. Looking a bit better than he did in the last game, though. But even if he wins this one, he has to resolve the fact that the final game will be on a stage with platforms.
Very, very true. Sayer. Who is going to be able to strike first, get the first bit of advantage here? A Nair going to go under. And BalloonBoy's being a lot more methodical, not really worried about extending those strings yet. Trying to just get the 1-2s in, get the damage in, build up the damage, and he almost has Sandstorm in a knockout range, but Sandstorm's going to put him right back on equal playing field with him. The Dare is going to miss. BalloonBoy finds his way back up on stage, right into a recovery, coming way down to the stage fast. Can't find any sort of opening, though. Sandstorm backed it up, side sigs in the wrong direction, but BalloonBoy is in no position to punish it.
Yeah, BalloonBoy, I mean, he's thought about, like, is there a SIG I can throw out here that I think will catch Sandstorm? And his answer is no. You know what I mean? He's like, I might be able to let a side SIG rip, but the last few that I've done haven't quite found the mark. He's just kind of struggling to get a read on Sandstorm's movement now, and it's a lot harder to place your hitboxes on blasters once that starts happening. It's one of those weapons that I think does best in shorter sets. Because the longer the set goes on, the more time your opponent has to kind of figure out what your movement pattern's on, and then it becomes so much harder to be accurate with the weapon. But we'll see if BalloonBoy can adapt. I mean, he's been playing on these boots now and getting beat up by the unarmed kit, though. Sandstorm getting the double D-like ground pound and some more, man. BalloonBoy struggling.
He absolutely is. Sandstorm now has those chakrams back in hand. He swapped over to the sword. We see this do this. He's trying to fish out the easier knockout, but he goes ahead and primes chakrams, gets a down sig in, gonna pull. Every time I see that side light, I'm just like, I just hear Scorpion, get over here, every time.
Every single time. Punish, nice. Punishes it with a recovery, which honestly probably the best he could have asked for there while still being airborne. So confirming the stock, needs to play another pristine stock here. Sandstorm should have been able to snag the stock there. Couldn't get the true conversion off of the D-Light into the gravity cancel end sig unarmed. And so now BalloonBoy with yet another chance, and he's taken it. Look how much damage he's been able to rack up ever since removing that first stock of Sandstorm. BalloonBoy is so thankful for being given this opportunity. And just like that, we have a close, even game.
We absolutely do. BalloonBoy being very methodical here. Gravity cancel D-Light into Sayer. Weapon throw out. Back on the blasters. Sandstorm looking for a weapon. He can't find it. He just got a Sayer to the back of the dome. That's going to take him off the right. And BalloonBoy has the lead.
I don't think he's been touched this entire time.
No, he's
ever since he got the last stock,
bro.
he hasn't been touched. Yeah, BalloonBoy is just getting his way all over and around the stage. Sandstorm is the one who can't seem to get a read on him now. I mean, the way he's playing might have a game 5 here. Sandstorm trying to aggress with these chakrams now. You can see him hovering around, just falling on top of BalloonBoy with the recovery of the chakrams. And this time it finally does connect, but BalloonBoy, I mean, you have to give him credit for even making this a close game, considering where he started off.
Oh, yeah, he started off in a very bad spot. But there we go. The blaster back in hand to see what the Mega Man can do. He's definitely making Sandstorm work. Oh, come on. He's definitely making Sandstorm work for this game. No, we're not even going to talk about that interaction.
It's the exact same sidelight happened to Marky, bro, and he lost his stop for it. But anyway, Sandstorm's piecing him up now. And we'll see if BalloonBoy can make the game 5 happen. He's this close. But one recovery puts him in this terrible juggle state that it's so hard to get down from, especially in a game like Brawlhalla where all the characters kind of fall at the same speed. You can't really, you can fast fall, but that's the best that you got. Wait's not really an option, and BalloonBoy gets disarmed. This is the worst possible option here. Sandstorm disarms himself, though. He wants the chakrams again. BalloonBoy gets the first weapon. Does he want these, or does he want blasters? Well, he doesn't have a chance to swap now because Sandstorm has these chakrams in hand. He's side-sticking in the other direction, almost as a bait, it looks like. Oh, can BalloonBoy make the game 5 happen? Sandstorm's trying to say no. BalloonBoy fights his way back onto the stage. It's not enough. He burns the recovery early. How does he get back? Patience from Sandstorm isn't going to be enough to confirm the KO. BalloonBoy fights back, but it's going to be the side light into the downlight true combo from Sandstorm to guarantee himself a spot into the Spring Royale.
Sandstorm is going to the Spring Royale. He just secured his spot, his flight, his hotel, his weekend at the Royale. Sandstorm will be joining us representing North America as BalloonBoy settles down into elimination finals to hopefully, for him, be able to make his way